Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers here today. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, I'm sitting down today with Dr. Michal Young, who is going to be a presenter at our upcoming Gold Lactation Online Conference 2021, which is right around the corner. All the details are on the website right now, so you can go there and have a look at goldlactation.com. Of course, this is one of our biggest events of the year. We're now into our 15th year, which is so exciting, with over 90 countries attending from around the world. So that's super exciting. But today we're going to chat with Dr. Michal Young and find out where she is in the world. And she's going to introduce herself right now. Welcome. It's great to have you here
Welcome.
today, Michal.
Glad to be here. Thank you so much. I am currently sitting at Howard University in Washington, D.C. I'm a resident, though, of the great state of Maryland.
Ooh,
Um,
beautiful. And so, can you tell me a little bit about your work there, Michal, what you do sort of on a day-to-day basis?
I'm the director of the neonatal intensive care unit here at Howard. It's a level 3 unit.
Mm-hmm.
I share that duty, I'll share responsibilities for babies with two other neonatologists and a group of night neonatologists that work with us. We take care of tiny babies and try and encourage moms to provide breast milk for those babies.
Ah, okay. So is that still a challenge in the NICU today? Or are there still barriers that you feel that that society puts around when, especially because it can be very traumatic for families?
Mhm.
So how is that process for you right now when you're encouraging those families to provide the breast milk?
Well, I can safely say that it's better than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's still I run into too many mothers who had not given breastfeeding a thought,
Wow.
and when you have an early birth,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not in your thought process, it brings in a lot of need to do a lot of education quickly.
Mm.
And interestingly enough, though, mothers tend to understand that that preterm baby probably does need something special,
Mm.
and it's easier to talk those moms into considering breastfeeding sometimes than it is a term mother who
Mm.
wasn't
Yeah.
considering it at all.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. And you know what? I have to say that I was also a NICU mom. And so it takes me right back every time I talk about it. It's been quite some time. And I came in knowing that I was going to be in the NICU, Michael. And even for me, I felt like that I putting one foot in front of the other was terrifying. It was just so overwhelming. So I can certainly appreciate a lot of the mothers today that we work with who have preterm, unexpected, births, unexpected outcomes. There's a lot on the line here. And I find that that educational component it takes a very special person to sit with somebody and say, okay, this is what you can do, in order to support your baby's life and in some instances save your baby's life, right?
That
Is
that is true, but that even that statement has to be carefully delivered,
mm-hmm.
because one of the things we see across mothers is that they're not certain that they'll be able to make milk. And that's a big
Ah,
fear in all of the breastfeeding community. We talk
mm,
about it a lot. Mothers don't think they're making enough. They want to supplement.
right.
Um, it's so when you're selling the game, you really don't. I mean, there are certainly some things that let us know that a mother
Mm-hmm.
may be at risk.
Right.
Um, her breast didn't change during the pregnancy, those kinds of things.
Sure. Yeah.
But then there's just moms who don't have the confidence that they have the ability
Mm,
to do such a great thing.
mm,
And it also, though, is a source of joy, because
right.
once they start making that milk, and they are the ones delivering the true magic portion. Uh, it gives them a confidence that is just exciting to see that
Right.
woman grow into
Yeah.
into her into her greatest potential.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see how important it is because we don't actually want to set people up to fail either by using the wrong language, the wrong terminology,
Hmm.
and where they feel like they have failed. Because in some respects, they may feel like they have already if they haven't carried a baby to term.
Yes.
There's that self blame. And so we really need to work on that breastfeeding efficacy and how they feel about it. So it might baby steps, like small steps to the success. And where you said you brought in some language there about that magic ingredient, and I know that that's going to be part of what you're going to be speaking to. So let's just talk a little bit about the immunology of human milk. This is something that you're going to be talking about. In fact, your title is Immunology of Human Milk, the Magic Ingredient. So I know that for you, this is something, your lifelong work of supplying human milk for human babies, as we say. And so tell me, how often do you get that opportunity to really talk about immunology of human milk to families? Do they receive that message well? Is there opportunity? Is it too much? So tell me a little bit about that, Michael.
Well, I keep it pretty straightforward.
Hmm.
That the biggest thing, the big difference between human milk and the formulas that they are often too often familiar with
Hmm.
is that our milk brings antibodies and protection to their baby, and there's
Mm,
nothing that equals that. And furthermore, it changes along with the seasons and what mother's exposed to, and there's no way that anything else can beat that process.
mm,
um and the mom, they get that.
mm.
They understand that this is a process that changes with the seasons, with exposures to the viruses and diseases, and especially today.
Right.
um it really resonates. But that's how I tell parents that this milk is exquisite. It it protects the infant from anything the mother comes in contact with, and
Hmm.
that's, I don't have to get into the details of the
Sure.
cells and
Hmm.
whatnot, unless it happens to be a health professional that's
Right. Yeah.
prescribing it, and they get that. I also tell them it doesn't always have to be 100%.
Mm,
Um, that the studies have shown that even if you're getting at least 50% human milk, you're
hmm.
doing a better job than only formula. And some moms need to hear that too. That again, that pressure
Right.
to always produce. It just seems overwhelming. For one, they just don't believe that they can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's those barriers that definitely are gonna come up. Well, in your presentation, of course, as lactation consultants, IBCLCs, we need to be well informed about the immunology of human milk. And I know this is going to be part of your journey with us. You're going to be talking about it and laying it all out there. I've had a bit of an inside scoop on this already, which is really exciting for me. I was geeking out on some of your slides today, so that just to let folks know, they're definitely in for a treat if you've ever wanted to know more and be prepared, especially for making sure that you do understand, so that when the opportunity does come up, that you're well versed in this area is going to be really important. So, tell me, Michael, a couple of inside things that you're excited about sharing, and just the fact that we're going to be talking about immunology.
Well, it's the immune system is evolving in a newborn, and human milk helps transition and develop that immune system in a way that's so unique that we're still working on the science.
Hmm.
Um, so it's not that you know everything. I mean, it seems like every year or so we're finding a new cell or a new product or a
Right.
new aspect that human milk has that we had no idea was there.
Right.
So don't feel like you conquered it.
That's truly wild to think that, that we're still in the discovery phase.
Yes.
To think that we're still, and even when we talk about the profession of, lactation consultants, it's still new. I mean, it's still new in the sense that, and the same as because the science is still new, we're still learning all the time. So, I mean, this is a really good reason to come to your presentation. Come to the presentation, learn all that you need to know what's happening right now in immunology. And again, immunology of human milk, the magic ingredients. So we're going to get right into that. Before I wrap things up today, Michael, please share about some of the things that you're doing outside of your work. I know there's a whole long list of them, but maybe you could tell us a couple of the things that you love to do when you're not actually in your NICU.
Well, I'm a member of Reaching Out Sisters Everywhere. I'm on the
Hmm.
board. I'm on the board for the Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine. I'm a member of the AAP breastfeeding section. In other words, I just want to be able to talk to people on every level
Mm,
about human milk and the benefits of it. I personally uh, did not know, and had just finished my fellowship in neonatology
right.
when my first child was born,
Aw.
and the lack of knowledge of what the benefits of human milk were
Mm-hmm.
was astounding to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the unfortunate occurrence of a fever right after
Oh,
my baby was born. So I had
right.
taken her home. I was breastfeeding,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had a temp, and I had to stop breastfeeding for and pump and
Mm-hmm.
dump.
Right.
And my baby changed. She completely was different. And that experience, I said, there is something tremendously wrong with what we're feeding babies in place of human milk. And I want to be able to learn more about it and tell parents and colleagues that the ancient way of feeding a human is the way to feed a human. And we need to be able to communicate it.
That is so beautiful. Yes, the ancient way of feeding babies is the way that we need to feed them. Wow, that's amazing. And so here we are feeding our babies, learning more every day about the immunology and the protection that it provides, the ever-changing milk. As you mentioned, it changes right the way through the time that from the time that the infant is born. And of course, the milk is actually even more protective when we have those little tiny preterm babies in the
Yes.
NICU as well. Wow. Thank you so much. Dr. Michael Young, is so good chatting with you. I can't wait to have you live at our Gold Lactation Conference. Don't forget, everyone, you can go to the website right now, goldlactation.com, register for this event. The entire conference is up online right now. You can have a look at everything that's coming up. It opens up on March 29th with our opening keynote, Nikisha Killings. She'll be here live for all of you as well. Thank you once again to Dr. Michael Young for being with us here today.
Oh, you're welcome. I look forward to the talk.
Absolutely. And of course, to all of our viewers, thank you for joining us once again, and we'll look forward to seeing you all soon online. Bye bye for now, everyone.